So I got a new article. States that Mortal Kombat producer on trying to please both new and hardcore fans. And I said about this 100 times ever since the trailer was released or the movie got first announced like 2 years ago. Whenever you work on a property like Mortal Kombat, there's always going to be a ton of fan expectations that comes with it for any property that has been around for multitude of years. Fans are always going to want their own desires to be satisfied. But at the same time, the project still needs to be accessible to newcomers as well. This balance is something that those working on Mortal Kombat movie are trying to find as well. So what he's actually saying is he wants to find they're trying to find a balance, of trying to bring in the old and newcomers to see this movie. And it was like you said, when any property is coming out with a movie or reboot, there's going to be some so-called critical fans that want everything their way, and you can't even do that. So to me, it's like you can't even please everybody, and that's exactly what's going on right now. There are a bunch of racist people as well when it comes to the cast of Melina. In the recent press events for the upcoming Mortal Kombat movie that Kombat.com attended, the film's producers Todd Garner talked about how important it has been for the studio to create something that will resonate with the wide audiences. Well, look, when you're making an investment of tens of millions of dollars, you can never just rely on the hardcore fans ever. You have to make the movie that works for people that don't necessarily know anything about the lore. Garnet expressed plainly, and I've been making movies for 30 years. I was an executive at Disney for 10 years. I didn't know that. And then I was an executive at Revolution for 5. And I've made my own movies for 15. And especially at Disney. When you're working on a Disney IP, you assume everybody loves Disney. And everybody knows Disney. But you also have to assume that other people are going to be coming in fresh. Lord have mercy, forgive me for my reading. And so when you go and set about making these movies, in order to have the widest audiences possible and enjoy the entertainment that you've put forward, you have to allow people to catch up to the rules, the lore, and all the stuff the fans take for granted. So he's basically talking about Tom Garner's point about trying to please the fans' audiences. It's like whenever you make any projects, you have to know what your audiences are in order to target those audiences. And once you find your target, then you struck gold. Todd even said it that he's been in this business for 30 years. He's worked with Disney for a long time, and several films that he made with them. And now that he's working on this Mortal Kombat, yeah, it's going to be hard to please this kind of fans because they've been playing this game for years now. Some that support this movie know about Mortal Kombat. Certain ones that claim that they know, that they're critical and don't like the changes, are not really educated. So it's obvious. Garner then went as far as to say that he believes this is especially important with developing a movie that is based on a video game, although the property might be familiar with some fans. To make it truly resonate, it has to be developed as a fully fleshed out movie, first and foremost. Because that's when you make video games adaptations that nobody wants to see because you just lost your humanity. Oh, Jesus, this is real. You lost the characters, you've lost the traditional filmmaking style, which is setting up your characters, caring about your characters, taking them on an emotional journey, and paying that journey off, Garner said. So I would say a long, wider answer to your question is the people that made this movie loved it. We're fans, but we're also filmmakers. And we've made a movie for not just hardcore fans, but anybody who loves this movie. So I love what he actually said right here. He's basically saying that people will criticize you for saying that when you lost your touch, in humanity, your style in filming, and which styles that you choose. But he's also saying that since the people who made this movie, they're also fans of this video game franchise. And they're also filmmakers. So clearly they know what they're talking about and they know what they're doing. And people are just giving them crap still. And it's sad to say the least. Now here's my overall thoughts on this. I support this movie 100%. I've been supporting this since day one. Ever since the trailer came out, it clearly has got my attention. Almost everybody has supported this movie. Why do you think it has over 9 point something million views on YouTube? Because it became the most watched trailer on YouTube. Because it's restricted, it's red band, which means it's blood in it, and it works. That's what Mortal Kombat is known for. So, to me, everybody is going to get what they ask for. This is coming from a guy who has played the games in the past, who have supported everything they do, but when it comes to this movie, of course I'm going to support this 100% because I'm a fan. I mean, any true Mortal Kombat fan will say the same thing instead of being critical and judgmental all the time. When they see one thing on social media, one thing bad on the internet, they're not going to want to see it. Kind of lets me know, A, you're uneducated, B, you're only seeing one wrong thing and you're not going to support it because of what? It didn't live up to your expectations. And C, you're being very critical about a movie that hasn't even come out yet. And you're hating on the fact that Melina is played by a black woman. A lot of people don't realize that Melina is a fictional character. She's a fictional character. Whether she's white, Asian, Hispanic, any color human being playing the character, she's a fictional character. She's not just one race, she's mixed with everything. And people are still not getting it. So I say, you can't tell them nothing. That's why this fan base is even toxic. Especially when it came to her teeth. We've seen her teeth for the first time, and I think it looks good. You've seen my reactions. I don't see what's the problem with this movie. When this movie comes out, I know it's going to do good. If people claim that, oh, this movie is going to be bad, no, it's not. If you would have support, have the right set of mind into your skull, then you would support this movie right away. Regardless, you can't tell these people nothing. They're going to hate all they want, but at the end, as long as you're supporting this movie, that's really all that matters. Because if it's free, of course, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to do my review of it. I'm going to keep my promise, like I always have. When I told you that something was wrong, that another video was going to be delayed, I'm going to keep my promise to start over and make sure it's right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, either you take it or leave it. Regardless, I like what the producer, was saying about pleasing the old and the new fans. They're going to come out and support this regardless. And they're going to love it just like they say they would. And they're going to spend their hardcore money on the Blu-ray DVDs of this movie. Just my thoughts on what Todd Garner has to say. I think he's absolutely right on everything. So, you can't please everybody, but as long as this movie is good, it's all that matters. That's what's the most important thing about this movie. I'm faithful, I'm faithful that this movie is going to end up breaking all records. I don't care because I know it's going to work. Y'all enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed, hit the subscribe button. Hit me up on Instagram and Twitter. I'm out of here.